So I'm here with Johnny Alonso now. This has been a long time coming. I've been waiting for this. I met him at the Harvey premiere at my hometown's mall, which was crazy. It was really fun. I love the film, so just tell us a little bit about that.
Talk about Harvey. Sure. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm living the dream right now. I'm talking to someone who's been in so many different things and directing shows, and I'm excited.
Well, good, man. Well, I'm excited to be on your show, bro. Let's talk about Harvey. Great film, lots of fun. My first time to co-direct with an established director. We'll get back to her in a second. But getting into Harvey, it was a lot of fun filming it, and I know you and your family were at the Oviedo screening.
Yeah.
Just last month, man. It was awesome. Great response, great crowd, great reception. Lots of fun at the after party. I'm so glad you made it. So, getting into Harvey, it wasn't as easy to shoot this film. I mean, shooting any movie is not easy, especially if you're in the win and you're being serious about it and you're still trying to retain your integrity and your artistic values. We had to fight against COVID, and back in 2020, just a little bit ago, everything was shut down. Filmmaking in particular was shut down in the States. And Renelle and I, we were going to get into another project, but that was iced because of COVID. But we just couldn't sit still. So I asked her to write a project that would be a little cheaper to film with a smaller cast, but really keep the intensity of the other project that we were going to film. And she came up with Harvey, and we decided to shoot it in Oviedo, your hometown. And we put some really cool twists and vibes into it, man. As you know, it's got an 80s, 90s vibe, which we were able to find in your town because, some of the stuff in your town, it's, I come from a bigger city, so we're a little more contemporary and a little more, in the second. It's kind of a sleepy town, Oviedo. And I'm not making fun of it at all. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it worked really well with filming Harvey because Harvey does have that 80s, 90s vibe. I keep telling people that if you blow through 10 streetlights, you've gone through Harvey Town, and that's kind of Oviedo for me.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
We had a blast shooting there, man. You have a great film community in Florida, and I'm looking forward to going back, man. I had a great time shooting Harvey, and now that, I think filmmaking has found its way, and with the new rules and regulations brought by Screen Actors Guild, we'll have a lot more fun shooting second time around.
Yeah, and I want to not only just ask a bunch of questions about like the stuff that you've been working on recently, but I want to know more about like how did you get started, I guess, and get into deciding you wanted to be an actor.
Sure. It's such a great question. I'm a musician, so if you can't tell, this is my studio, right? I started out in bands. When my family moved from New York, we moved to Baltimore City. And I've played music all my life. My mother's side, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, they all dance, they sing, they play the piano, drums, guitar. And I was just about it. So when we moved to Baltimore, my younger brother and I decided to put a band together, and we teamed up with another pair of brothers, and we were called The Unknown, and we came out with 2 albums, and we toured the country. And dude, we were only a few years older than you, man. I mean, I think my band, when we came up with our first record, our ages were 15, 16, 17, and 18.
That's
super young, cool. Touring. I can't believe my parents let us, they let us buy a van, and we toured the country. I mean, boy, it was the best time. But like anything else, any good times, man, they sooner or later fall apart and have to come to an end. Well, I was lost, man. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But then I remembered how much I enjoyed playing live, and I realized there was a lot of acting involved on stage when you played. So I graduated from high school, and then I made my way up to NYU, back to New York. And I got into NYU, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I wanted to do something with music or acting. So I got into the actors program, and I used my energy that I used to get when I was playing live on stage. I put that kind of energy and that thought process into scripted dialogue, and I absolutely fell in love with it, man. So, you know, being an actor is definitely a one-man show. When you're making a film, or if you're in a theater production, of course not. You know, it's an ensemble cast, but it is just you and your craft. And I learned that a long time ago, especially with playing music. We're a band, but each member brought a certain something, and that's how I feel with my acting. So, you know, it's done me all right, man. I mean, I got into acting a very long time ago, and I've been having such a blast. And I've learned one thing, and I'll say this to you guys, any actors that are watching. Acting is not just acting, it's reacting, of course. But the biggest part of booking, and you see my resume, Eastin, I've done a ton of crap. An actor needs to learn how to audition, period. When we're casting films, when Renell and I are casting movies, you can have the greatest actor, they can have the most amazing demo reel, but if you can't audition, that's where it begins. And you know, you got to prove to me that you can take 3 to 5 pages and take something and pull it off the script and make it yours. So, you know, an actor needs to audition. And I learned a lot of audition techniques at NYU and at the Actors Studio, and I'm very fortunate because it's worked for me since.
That's great advice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And then I was also kind of wondering, so you're going to be in the next season of Haunting as well, which is like one of the first things you did, I believe?
Yeah, good. You're a good host, man. Okay, so yes, A Haunting. I did, that was one of my favorite episodes back in the day, because it was really one of my first guest starring episodes where I got to control literally 1 hour's worth of acting. Out of the 55 minutes, because you have commercials and stuff, right? In that episode, I was in there for 49 minutes. And the episode was called Hidden Terror. And I remember the agent that I booked it through. She said, listen, man, they love you, but are you up for the challenge? And I said, I'm always up for the challenge. And I got on set, I didn't think I could do it. Honestly, I didn't think I could do it. But I let it go, and I had a great director, and I had a great cast, and I had a great crew, and they made me feel comfortable, and I was able to knock that out of the park. And Hidden Terror is one of the most re-aired episodes from the entire series, and it's won so many awards worldwide.
Congratulations, and, that's awesome.
Thank you, man. Dude, thank you. And they never forgot me. New Dominion Pictures never forgot me. So several seasons later, meaning present day, A Haunting decided to come back for their 11th season. And casting got in touch with my agent, and they said, we'd love to read Johnny Alonso for like this next episode. We're looking for this actor that needs to have intensity and a real handle on his character and a strong grip on control of his acting. And I said, that's not me. And they were like, no, it's you, man, it's you. So I read for him, and then I read for like all these different characters, and they gave me, I booked the lead. And this episode is cool because this new season of A Haunting, season 11, they have changed the format, bro. It is a lot darker. It is a lot scarier. It's like American horror story. It's very intense. And in my episode, I think there are only like 4 or 5 actors in it, and I'm one of the guest leads. So you got to tune in. It's going to be February 11th on the Travel Channel and Discovery Plus, those 2 channels. And I'm proud of it, man. It's cool. I spoke Spanish in a few scenes. And I got to really go off. I mean, just like hard. I don't want to give it away, but it's not like your typical A Haunting. Season 11 is sick. So tune in, okay?
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So let's go back a little bit here. You said that you got to speak Spanish in a couple scenes. So do you know Spanish? Yes,
I speak Spanish and Italian fluently.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Well, thanks, man. Thank you. I grew up with it. You know, when we were raised in Howard Beach, all the neighborhood, you know, they spoke Italian fluently. And then, of course, with my family, my parents speak a million languages, so I was raised around it. And I think an actor should be rich with other languages or even other accents, you know, believable accents. Because an actor is supposed to be a sponge. An actor is supposed to just take everything in, and it's supposed to feel and make it visual. Acting is not easy, you know. I always tell actors, you know, find your niche, find your vibe, find your brand. And my brand has always been, like I said, that musician, that rock and roll guy. That rock and roll guy can always be translated into just a cool dude or just a rebel with a heart, you know, and the bad guy, you know. But bad guys are always guys that are the most sensitive, you know. Anybody that just plays an angry dude, he's an idiot. Forget about that guy. That guy's not an actor. An actor is supposed to feel, and playing the bad guy, playing the rebel, they have the biggest heart of them all.
Is there like a certain movie or place or show or something you'd like to be in one day, or like something you look forward to?
Man, you're like taking pages out of the Johnny Alonso handbook. These are the questions I ask when I host. Yeah, man, it's funny you said that, because I have been jonesing for the past year to do musical theater again. I love the stage. I was raised on it, man. You know, I was raised on it, playing music to the nonnies and the nanas, and you know, in the neighborhood, to being in a band, touring, you know, to going to NYU and doing stage productions. Remember, Eastin, it's difficult doing stage when you're a film actor, because stage takes up so much of your time. And you know, if you're going to invest like 8 months out of the year, you know, it better be a good production, theater production, because it's hard going to do the transition, film, auditioning, television, auditioning, commercials, auditioning, and then after you make such a great name with all these casting directors, you just stop and then you start doing theater. So it has to be the right piece. And but like I said, I've been jonesing to do musical theater again, only because I am a singer and I'm an actor, and I miss the stage. I mean, I really do. That instant gratification of, you know, the audience cheering or not cheering. It really depends on how it works out. But my agent won't let me do any stage right now. So
if you're on the stage, they'll be cheering.
Yeah, well, she doesn't want me to get on stage, only because it's going to take away from all the time that we've invested for me getting into film work. But I'll find a way. Don't worry, bro. She's been with me long enough. She can wait.
Yeah, so another big thing and a show that I personally love on Netflix, which is Outer Banks Season 3. And you're going to be in that as Psycho Surfer Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you can say about that, but...
Yeah, I signed an NDA. It's very difficult for me to speak about it. I can talk about my last episode in Season 2.
Sure, give us what you got.
Yeah, I'll give you what I got, bro. In fact, I think I sent you guys some photos. I'll send you some more of them. But
I'll put them up on screen.
Yeah, man. Cool. Well, you're a very good editor, by the way, man. You're fantastic. But
thank you.
You're welcome, bro. Working on Outer Banks was sick. Now, remember, man, I shot that at the height of like the whole COVID scare and the beginning of it all. So they, meaning Outer Banks, were very, very strict about how many tests we had to take. You know, being isolated on set. I mean, it was a completely different vibe than most actors are used to. Same thing went with Harvey. We had to get tested every 3 days, you know, shut down production, get tested every 3 days. You have to have a SAG nurse, and she has to, he or she has to get your temperature like literally 3 to 5 times a day. And then getting back to Outer Banks, it was all that plus more. The one thing that I missed when I was shooting OBX was that I stayed in my trailer the entire time. I did not get a chance to like hang out with anybody. But it wasn't just me, everybody else did that, you know.
Yeah.
Isolated. And usually when you have like lunch or breakfast or dinner, you know, you hang out with everybody on set. Nope, you put your order in before you got on set from your hotel, and it was waiting for you in your trailer. So like I said, it was very isolated, but it gave me a lot of time to work on my lines and work on my approach on how I'm going to do this on set, because OBX is a big show. Outer Banks is huge.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun working with Rudy, JJ. He is my boy. And so the episode that you saw me in Season 2 is Psycho Surfer Joe. When they wheeled me out of the the prison hospital. When I'm getting wheeled in, or actually when I was actually in the ambulance, there are lines in that they omitted, but they're putting those lines in season 3 as a flashback, and that's all I can tell you. Yeah, dude, I'm stoked, man. I'm so stoked because that along with me being on set in a few weeks, it's gonna be fun. I mean, it's a big show, it's a big deal. So I'm hoping something like this will springboard me onto other shows. As you know, I was on One Tree Hill and Dawson's Creek. Shows like that, man, last forever. I did those shows a long time ago, and I'm still getting fan mail, and I'm still getting friend requests from One Tree and Dawson's, and OBX is, I'm sure, not going to be any different than the other shows. Yeah,
I know Rudy. I watched a YouTube video of him answering Google's Most Interesting, and Rudy Palto was talking about how, like, on the very little amount of time they had where they're not quarantined, they would go out and surf.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I think that Johnny should have been there to talk about that.
I should have been there. It's funny, man. That's another thing too. When my agent got me the audition, when I got the audition, one of the questions that I had to answer on my slate was if I did surf, and I do. I've been surfing since I was a kid. So, they were looking for authenticity for some of these characters, and I don't know if it's gonna ever come about that I get to surf on a show like this, but if it does, then the casting directors know, which goes back to what I was saying to you earlier, man. Languages and special skills for an actor. It's not just about acting, guys. It's about having world things, just real things. Let them know, man. And if I didn't have that ability to surf, skate, and snowboard, I probably wouldn't have gotten the audition for Psycho Surfer Joe. I'm being serious too, man. I mean, if there's a look, there's a look they're looking for, but if they needed you to do something, if you can't do it, then they're gonna have to hire somebody else. It's gonna cost them 3 to 5 times more. So it's better to be a one-stop shop.
Yeah, I was told once that if they need a guitarist and they have 2 actors and one of them can play guitar and one of them can't, they're gonna choose the one who can.
Absolutely, dude. And this is coming from a casting director. I also cast. I want to have someone that's going to be able to just just cover the gamut, you're a good-looking kid, but if I need you to shoot, an AK, man, if you can't handle it, I'm like, I got to find another good-looking kid. This is not going to be easy because he's the one that I wanted to book. Yeah, so, actors, fill your resume with legitimate abilities, man. I'm telling you, and languages and accents. It's a fun world, man. It's a heightened reality acting.
Yeah, I'd like to shoot my shot with acting one day, but I don't know if I'm quite ready for that yet.
Well, you know what, man? Never say never. There's so many levels of acting. I mean, there are a lot of these shows, these web series. Get your feet wet in that. I was very lucky, man. I mean, like I said, when I got out of my band, I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. So I went back to New York and went to NYU. And that's when it all clicked. I wanted to be at least somewhere in the acting world. New York is a theater town, so they really push you to be on stage. But I was just lucky enough that once I graduated from NYU that I got onto film and television and commercials immediately. I came out with a badass agent, and I'm also, like I said, I'm in tune with how to audition. Stage is so much bigger than, acting for film and television. They always say, as an example, that an actor on stage is like a doctor with a scalpel. An actor in film is like a doctor with a laser. That's how different the movements are. And if you could just figure that out, it will save you a lot of time, man, and you will start booking.
Well, I look forward to seeing you on stage then.
Hey, man, yeah, me too. One day, bro. I'm hoping. I heard through my agent that Grease is coming back on Broadway, and I would kill to even be a background actor in Grease. So, they're looking for all types and she just submitted for me, so we'll see what's up, man. So
Yeah.
that's one that she would let me do because it's Broadway. You know, she's not gonna let me do community theater. You know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Some of the best actors you'll definitely find in community theater. They're just looking for their break. But we'll see, bro. You know, there's so much going on right now. A lot of films that I'm involved in. Harvey, January 7th, comes out through Midnight Releasing, our distribution company, domestically and internationally. Written by Renell Golden, my favorite producer, co-director, and partner. And we had a lot of fun shooting in Florida. I'm very excited to get back to Florida. And then, of course, A Haunting coming out in February 11th through the Travel Channel and Discovery Plus.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you really enjoyed it like I did, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. If you want to follow Johnny Alonso on his social medias, check the description because that's where they'll be. Also, something that should be noted is that Harvey was one of only 8 independent films in 2020 that was cleared by the Screen Actors Guild under the new SAG COVID contract. But I think it was a well-deserved feat. Well, if you want to know, go check it out and watch Harvey for yourself. It's streaming on January 7th. And that's basically going to do it for this one, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!